let's just start on a light note. This seems to happen whenever the Republicans take control. We saw this during the Bush administration time and time again. In fact, early on in this iteration of the Majority Report, we interviewed a guy named Jonathan Crone. And back in, I don't know if it was like around 2006 or something, they brought this kid out. He was 13, I think, at the time. They had him speak at CPAC, and they basically put him on tour. He was a 13-year-old kid who was a conservative right-wing talker. I don't know if I think he had a weekend show. And
Didn't he have a book?
I think he
literally
also had a book.
Right?
He had the whole thing. I mean, he was like, William Bennett if he was, smaller, much smaller and much younger.
Much smaller.
And, 6 years later, the kid grows up into a, late teens and realizes like, oh my God, I'm not that person. I was 13.
I was exploited by bizarre adults.
And he went to NYU, and now, I think you can follow him on Twitter.
He listens to things at double speed, and he changed his name to Matt Luck. How are you, Matt?
No, he's a very bright guy, and is following international relations. Not that Matt is not a bright guy. But he came on the program and he explained, like, in retrospect, like, I don't understand, like, why do they keep Trump, bringing out young people? I mean, it's one thing, like, yeah, sure, kids go to protests and whatnot, but, and it's, interesting to talk, but to create mini celebrities out of little kids who clearly, haven't fully formed their politics. I mean, it's funny. Saul comes up to me. He's 4 and he says, Donald Trump is bad. And then I say, yeah, that's true. And then he goes, we hate Donald Trump. And I say, look, we don't like to use that word in this house, but if you really need to use it about Trump, you can. But that's it.
We should get him a book deal.
And but honestly, like, okay, it's cute. Maybe I would record it and, just make it a little, joke for one day. But on the right, they celebrate this as if it is some type of vindication. And as such, I give you the latest moron to promote something like this, that big moron Jesse Waters on Fox News.
You told Ed that you are a fan of Donald Trump because of immigration. Tell me what you think of Trump's immigration platform.
I think if Trump builds a wall, I think it would definitely work. And so I'm okay with legal immigrants coming into the country, but not with illegal immigrants, because a lot of those illegal immigrants have problems or guns or drugs, and they shouldn't be coming into our country. And our country has too many problems right at the moment, and we shouldn't have illegal immigrants in our way.
Well put. I think you hit it right on the head there, Jacob. And actually, Donald Trump just issued an executive order beginning construction of the wall pretty soon. And who's going to pay for the wall, Jacob?
Mexico.
That's what we're hearing.
There you go. I mean,
that kid's a fucking genius.
The beauty is, though, is that little 9-year-old Jacob Silva could have been replaced with any Republican talker, and they would have said the exact same thing based upon the exact same lack of actual knowledge of what they're talking about. And what they don't seem to understand on the right is, like, this shows the vacuousness, how vacuous their policies are. I mean, it's unbelievable, yet they celebrate this. I would be the last person to want to crush little Jacob Silva's dreams, but he should also know that the Republicans in Congress, including Senator Tom Cotton, are actually going to pass a bill that will cut back on the number of legal immigrants, as he would call them. I wonder if he'll then maybe change his position after looking at the the executive orders
or he'll follow
the
the
legislation.
Talking points.
Right.
He's like, I'm not concerned about people from
There's
European countries who share our values.
Exactly.
Also, I have to say, Bill Maher several years ago did and he made the point. He was just like, you don't see a 11-year-old impersonating Rachel Maddow, like, because you can't when you're 12. Like, you're not able to do that. But you could certainly do Rush or Hannity. Well, honestly, just need to be a dick.
Is there any?
That's it.
If those same words had come out of a 45-year-old Republican spokesperson for the blankety blank Americans group,
right,
we would all just been.
We wouldn't even pulled it as sound.
No, we wouldn't even know it. We wouldn't even know it existed.
Unnoticeable.
Completely unnoticeable. It would have been like every other segment that Jesse Waters has produced on his program, which presumably has been going on for years.
Including
I have no idea.
The fact that his guest has more camera presence than he does.
Right, exactly.
That's also...
exactly. I mean, that is what's fascinating about that is not that they got a 9-year-old to parrot those things. It's that they celebrate these 9-year-olds as if it's sort of in some way vindicating, but it's also these 9-year-olds are able to parrot conservative talking points with ease, flawlessly. I mean,
new character coming, 9-year-old Democracy Now! Guest.
That's right. Exactly. Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Over. Subscribe.